work? Yep, it's up and working. Life's good. Okay, for our next one, it's going to stretch clear across the page. It will be a little bit similar, not a lot, but a little bit similar to this one, except it's going to go at a steeper angle. Remember I said that back line, the vertebrae and stuff, kind of determines what everything else is going to do. So we're going to put that right here like this. And I've got a little curved line. I'm going to put it just like that. It's curving back. I'm leaving room over here, and I'm leaving room down here. That's on purpose. Okay, so I'll put the head right here. So this would be like a balloon that's getting blown hard to the right. Maybe I'll zoom out in just a little bit so it's not so far away. That's more better. I'm going to put the eye line going up, so it's looking up. So if it's turned this way, it's like a little frowny face. All right, and then I will put the chest on here. This thing is facing us in this case. Could have been from the side if we're doing it slightly different, but in this case we're going to have it facing us, which means we need to leave a little bit of the vertebrae, and because it is slightly curved, I'm going to slightly curve that one out and slightly curve this one in. We'll start learning to do that now that we kind of have an idea what shapes we need to use. And while I've got that there, I'll go ahead and put his shoulders on him. Okay. What do I need to draw next? Hips. Thank you. Will the hip be straight if this guy's going this way? Is it going to be this way? No, it's going to be curved similar to what it is on the back, but not, or on the shoulders, but not quite as extreme. Okay. They're not bending quite as far over. So that'll be my first line on my hip, like that, and then I'll round off the ends here. So I kind of make that big oval. Being careful not to make it wider than my shoulders. I know I say that a lot, but when we start doing these and grading them, I'm going to bet some people are going to make it wider than the shoulders. Hopefully not. You guys are pretty good, so maybe it won't happen. That'd be a nice first. All right, then I'm going to put the little joints on the hips, one right there, one right there, and I'm going to make sure that everybody's at this point before I move on. So I'll just stop for a second, let you get caught up. I'm going to go ahead and do the arms before I do the legs. I'm going to bring one arm kind of coming over his head like this. Put an elbow on it. I'm going to bring the other one up closer to his head like this. Put the elbow on that. Okay. That's just the first part of the arm. Kind of. So I'm going to bring, more like a dive, I'm going to bring the latter part of the arm, the lower part of the arm right here, and this one right here, and I'm going to have them kind of meet, and then I'm going to bring them together and make that diamond shape that we made like on the foot yesterday. But in this case, and I can put a little line right down the middle if I want, but this means the hands are together. As hopefully that will focus here in a second and show you. There it goes. Okay, that means the hands are together. I like this one because it really stretches across the paper, makes really good use of the size of the area that we have to draw in. That's one of the reasons I really like it. Okay, does anybody need a little more time to finish that up, or are we all good? All right, I don't see hands, so I'm going to move on. We'll go ahead and do the first leg. going to come down here like this, angled slightly. So if you look at this, it's angled slightly in. So if I drew a line straight up, it would come about right there. Now I'm going to put a knee on it. Now I'm going to bring the other one down close to it and put a knee on that too, right above it. Okay, so I got one down here. Let me get the junk out of it. One down here and one right there. So one's right above the other. Bring that up a little closer so it's easier to see. Just like so. Okay, I'll bring this leg down even further. Kind of angle it this way, close to my corner. And I'm going to do that same thing I did before, like that diamond shape, kind of like this one up here. It's a little diamond shape going that way. And then this other leg, we're going to bring it down close. Same kind of shape. That would be like the behind leg. This would be like the close leg and the far leg. And the reason you can tell that is the close leg is lower, the far leg is higher on the page. Now this could be somebody diving, falling over. I mean, like if you put a cape on it, like that, I'm just drawing it lightly, that would be like Superman or something, just flying with his little cape, just going right across your page, okay? So let's try to give you a little idea how these things work a little bit. Now, for our next act, act number 3, this time we're going to have two figures and they're going to be interacting with one another. So we kind of learn how to put some of this stuff together. All right, so on this one we got to leave a little room because we're going to have one character right here and we're going to have one character right here. So with this first one, like I say, our first line creates what the action's going to be. So I'm going to come in here and curve this way, just like that. And on my second character, I'm going to curve my line back further at more of an angle, like that, down towards the bottom here. But notice I'm leaving room between here and the edge and here in the edge. I don't have it drawn right there because I got to have room to put arms and legs and heads and all that good stuff in there. Okay, our first character, I'm going to put his head towards the top, and it's angled at the same kind of angle as our back is, so it's leaning that way. And I'm going to put little frowny face right here and have this near the edge so he's looking down. Okay, he's looking down at the other character. Bring that up closer so it's easier for you to see. He's a little bit of an egghead, but for illustration purposes we're not going to get too worked up about it. My other guy, I'm going to lean that back just a little further at the end and put his head on it. Come back just a little bit further with the circle going through the middle and the head up here this way. So he's looking down and he's kind of flipping backwards. Right now it just looks like two balloons with a cross on it. I'm going to put the shoulder line right here. Now his head's going to be fairly close to the shoulder right here, the top of the shoulder. And of course there's nothing over here. Now my other guy, I'm going to have him be a little bit more of an angle because he's really flipping backwards. Okay. going to go ahead and put my triangle shape for the chest. Making sure I curve out and in on the inside, out on the outside. Same thing on this part. Leaving a little bit of the vertebrae sticking out below. Then I'll put my shoulder joint on all the shoulders here. Wow, that's a big one. I'll make that a little smaller. Like I say, this one's a little bit different. And it does take some planning ahead in your mind. If you don't, you're going to run out of room on stuff. Is everybody caught up to this point? Does anybody need another second? Okay, I don't see any hands. Okay, this time I'm going to angle this hip going this way, kind of extreme, going that way. So it angles up. So if my paper's straight, this is angling up that way. And on my other dude, he's going to be angling over this way, the opposite direction with his hip. And then I'll put the little hip joints on there. Don't want to forget those. Okay, now this is where this thing comes to life. Right now, it's just kind of meant. We're going to make it more exciting, and it's by the arms and leg positions on it. And this is where I do think it gets a little bit fun. Instead of just being a regular old couple of stick figures, are actually doing something. So for this first one, I'm going to bring this arm out, put an elbow on it right there, and then I'm going to bring it back this way and put this little equilateral triangle on the end, because it's like a fist. I'll bring this arm up, slightly elevated, elbow on it, and angle it back. And this one, I'll just have the hand be open. Now it does look like he just smacked the other guy, but that's not what it will look like when we're done. Okay, let's do his legs. I'm going to bring this one down at an angle, pretty steep angle away from the hip right here. I'll take it pretty close to the edge of my paper, and I will put a knee on it. And then I'm going to bring this down here towards the bottom and put his foot right here, sideways to me, right there like that. Hopefully you left yourself a little room here. You'll know in a minute. Okay, this other leg is going to kind of be what's causing all the problems for this guy. This leg's going to come up here like this. I have a knee. Actually, that's a little too long. Better shorten it just a little bit. Put this leg on here, and then I'm going to bring this across that, and I'm going to angle this way. Okay, so he just gave that guy his best Taekwondo kick. Okay. So we're trying to create some kind of action here is what we're shooting for. And we overemphasize stuff just a little bit so it looks, more like something's actually happening on our paper. Does anybody need more time to finish this part up? Okay, let's go ahead and work on this guy over here. He's going over backwards, so of course this arm's going to be flailing up in the air. And it's going to be leaning back. I'll put his hand right back here, so he's falling backwards. If you were falling backwards, you'd probably have your other arm down here trying to break your fall a little bit. And that's exactly what we're going to have him do. Got his other hand down here. It's going to be kind of at a little bit of an angle because he's trying to get his fall broke. I'm going to make this foot over here just a little bigger. It's a little bit small. Remember, we want our feet to be significantly bigger than our hands. I'm just making them just a little bit bigger, so that's clearly bigger than the hands. Okay, and then we'll do his legs. This leg will be up in the air. This leg is going to be over here. This is just the upper part of the legs. Put the knees on it. And 2 knees. And we'll do the lower part of the leg. We'll make sure that this foot is, say, bigger than the hands. And then this leg is down here a little further. And this one is going to be angled slightly off too. So this guy just kicked that guy over. So you got your little karate thing going on, or taekwondo, or whichever martial art you want to put in there. Okay, they're in a little martial arts battle, which I think is kind of fun to be able to create stuff like that as opposed to the stick figure that's sitting on the whiteboard up there, which is fun to draw, but kind of boring to look at after a while. These are a lot more exciting. Now, if I put that into AI and had it created, it'd be a pretty exciting looking form. And I could tell it, instead of saying just add muscles to this, I could tell AI, turn my 2 stick figures, keep the form and shape, and turn it into 2 superheroes fighting. And it would. That'd be kind of cool. Okay. So let's go to our last one. Our last one is the guy that it has not gone well for him. He's the loser in the deal, and he's admitting defeat. Okay? So maybe it's this guy in a minute or two. So our last one's going to go towards the bottom of our page. I'm going to put it on the left side. So if this is the right side, left side, this is going more towards the left side, near the bottom of the page. Slight curve to it. His head's going to be up. Like I say, if it's easier for you to draw the head as a circle, you draw it as a circle. Ovals are a little better because that's a little more head shape. Have him looking down a little bit. And now we'll put his shoulders on. It's kind of a repeat. Things kind of repeat. Once we sort of figure out what we're doing, we do the same things over again quite often. I'm going to bring this down, leave a little bit of the vertebrae. A little bit of the vertebrae sticking out. Now I'm going to actually draw the hands before I do the hips on this, and there's a reason I'm going to do that. I'll show you why here in just a second. So this arm, I put the shoulder on here, forgot to put the shoulders on. Put the shoulders on. This arm is going to angle back like that and then come back this way. I'll put the little elbow on it and come back this way with the hand kind of flat against the ground like that. So we're going to say that's where the ground is. So I'm going to just take a little light line and bring it across. I don't want this very dark, it's just a reference of where the ground is in this picture. Okay? Whitney, will you shut that door, please? So now I'm going to bring his hip, similar angle to that, but not quite as extreme. It's going to be very near the ground. And I'm going to put the little ball joint right there, and it's pretty much going to touch the ground right there. Pretty close to touching. And here's why I put the arm on first. So when I go to do this leg is going to be sitting flat on the ground. So it's going to come out here a ways, have a knee, continue out, and it will be that diamond shape, just like that. By having this arm first, now I know where to line the leg up. That's why I drew that arm first, because it helps me know where do I put this leg. How do I properly put it on as far as the form and proportion? Where does it go? Where's it located? I'll put his other leg on, then we'll do his arm last. This one's going to go up, put a little knee on it, and it's going to come down. It's going to come down short of the end of this one with his foot facing up like that. Okay, he's down for the count, so to speak. Not completely out, but definitely down. Give you a second to get that on, then we'll put his last arm, joints, and hand on. And he'll be finished. Okay, this arm's going to be outstretched a little bit. Elbow. His hand up. And then I'm going to angle this back slightly for his hand. And he's just kind of got his hand up in the air saying, okay, I've had enough. All right? Just like, stop, I'm done. Okay. Here's where I'm going to stop as far as the video goes.